Go ahead and unmute yourself, Coop. All right, again, thank you for tuning in. This is Charles Elroy. Joining me tonight is Slooper Cooper, my guest host. Say hello, Cooper.
Hey, thank you. It's great to be here.
Love to hear it. So they already did the pro draft earlier, so this is just going to be a client draft. We'll start reviewing everything here in just a moment. If you haven't done it already, hit the follow button. I'd love to have more people in here watching these awesome scrims by these great teams. Tonight we've got Ivy Gaming Black versus Underground Kings. Let's take a look and see what the bans were. Slooper, what are we seeing?
Yeah, so we did get to spectate the draft, and I actually really liked this draft. I feel like both teams kind of identified what they wanted to do, did some good job taking away things from the other team. One thing I really like is you see where they picked this Karma here on the Ivy Black Gaming. They picked the Karma here and ended up flexing it later in the draft, which I felt like was really smart with Zinzao in the jungle. That's a really strong mid-jungle combo. So I really like to see them pull that out. That was a smart move on their end.
I like that as well. The ability she has to team fight is extraordinary with her empowered E, her empowered Q, and also her ability to poke out in lane is just, it can't be understated. I also like Ivy Gaming Black banning out the Nocturne and the Lee Sin. Both of them are very strong. The Nocturne in particular, he's been showed a lot lately in lane, and his gank potential and his roam potential just can overrun a map. So I'm glad to see that they banned that out of there and we're not going to see him today.
100% agree with you. What I liked about Underground Kings draft was they took Graves in the second round and ended up flexing him up to the top lane. And I saw this in the other game you were casting the other night, Charles. And so I went and I did a little search real quick, found out that Graves top actually almost has a 53% win rate in Diamond Plus, considering that's the ELO we're playing in. It's got a low pick rate of only 0.2%, but we'll see.
It was actually really strong.
It's going in the mid lane.
Yeah.
I thought that it was going to be the Akali and the...
I assumed the same thing. When we were watching the draft, I thought we were going to get to see Graves top again, but I'm excited to see Graves mid. I didn't expect it, but I'm excited for it. Now, the Ezreal, not surprised by that. Divine Sunder Ezreal has been broken and used a lot lately in these upper-level scrims. I can tell you, the Nami and the Braum, though, not something I'm used to seeing at these high elo games. I'm excited to see how this translates into the gameplay and the map pressure.
No, but I do like the late pick because at this point in that team comp, you don't have a ton of pill for Aphelios. You have Karma shields and that's about it. So if your Braum can dive to him, if he can put up his shield, absorb that. Aphelios with his quick attack speed will also stack the Braum passive quickly. I feel like it's a good late pick bot lane.
It's a good combo for
kind
sure.
Kind of rounds out what they need.
The Xin Zhao super strong right now, along with the Gwen as well. But I like the Akali. The Akali is going to get onto the back line, and she can do a lot of damage to Aphelios. She can do a lot of damage to Karma. She can do a lot of damage to Xin Zhao. She can do a lot of damage to Gwen. So if she's able to get past that Braum and actually get into the back line and start picking through them, I do think the Underground Kings have a position here where they can definitely find a win scenario against that team still.
Yeah, Underground Kings definitely has more of a almost traditional team comp. I feel weird saying that with the Graves in the mid lane.
But no,
they have just kind of that beefy frontline engage with the Nunu. You've got your kind of traditional, AD carry and support with more damage coming out of your solo lanes. That's one thing about the game right now is solo lanes are all about damage and all about carrying through the solo lanes. No tanks in here.
No, no tanks in the solo lanes at all. You've just got the Braum really and the Nunu. Those are the closest thing we've got to tanks. Obviously, Braum is a very true tank. But I'm excited to see what we're going to get out of this game. Now, one thing I like to do, if you're watching the game right now in the chat, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Who won the draft? Do you think it was Ivy Gaming Black, the side of blue team with the Gwen, Xin Zhao, Karma, Aphelios, and Braum? Or do you think the Underground Kings on the red side with Akali, Nunu, Graves, Ezreal, and Nami won? Let me know. I'd love to chat about it with you guys. We've got another minute or so before the game starts, but I like what we're getting ready to see. If I had to pick it, I like to kind of go through the lanes and then do a quick team assessment. If I had to call lanes, I think that Akali might be able to win this matchup into the Gwen, even though Gwen has a lot of sustain and chunking out potential. Okay, don't worry. I thought you'd say something there.
Oh, no, you know what? I was processing thought as well because I like Ivy Gaming Blacks. Their team comp's a little harder to execute, I think. But I think that their team comp's going to come on live in the mid game, and they're a very scrappy team. Maybe want to scrap more than they want to straight 5v5 front to back team fight. But if they can get ahead early, I think they're going to run away.
I think with the Graves, though, versus the Karma, that's going to be what determines the matchup. I think if that Graves gets ahead, you're going to have a lot more damage output from the side of Underground Kings versus the Karma, who undoubtedly will still provide poke, will still provide peel. But if she gets big, she'll be able to try and shut that down. So I think the mid game is what it's really going to come down to here.
Yep, I agree. It should be an exciting one.
And also, if I had to guess, I'm going to say neither top laner is going to take flash. We're probably going to see TP Ignite on both those guys.
Let's see.
Hey. So yeah, Gwen.
No flashes.
Gwen, Akali's super mobile. Gwen has her ability that allows CC to not be cast upon her. We've got Graves taking Smite as well in the mid lane. So I don't know if that was an accident. We'll try and get more information on that a little bit later, but Graves has Smite in this game. That's going to be interesting. And then you've got the Nami with the Ignite, and you've got the Braum with the Exhaust. So a little bit more kill pressure, quote unquote, coming from the side of the Nami Ezreal, but a lot more objective pressure coming from the Underground King. So I'm excited to see how that Graves with Smite plays out in the long run.
Yeah, I did see a strat about a year ago where you would use the Smite to take your cannon early, shove the wave, and then basically roam and try to just counter jungle the enemy Raptors.
Okay.
And constantly just deny that from the enemy jungler. I think that Graves might be able to outshove the Karma and get lane prio enough to be able to do that, especially with a new jungle running around. But was it a mistake? I just don't know. Is it the strategy? We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, that's for sure.
I'm excited for it, though. Either way, I've accidentally taken Smite before going on a different lane, and sometimes it ends up working out for you, so we'll have to see how Underground Kings played this. If they win, it was the strategy the whole time, no doubt.
Tell you one thing, Nunu is already hard enough to contest at objectives. Now, if you have two Smites and a Nunu, no excuses. You should have every objective.
That's very true. Looking down through the items real quickly, nothing too crazy here. Chilling Smite coming out on Nunu, Challenging Smite coming out on Xin Zhao. We've got the Nami going for Poke, and everything else is pretty standard. We've got both teams kind of going out for a modified 5-point, if you will. They're spreading themselves out, but they're also not afraid to trade here. And Nunu's going to get caught out, has to flash away early.
Early forced flash,
and they're going to deny
just having 3 people there.
And they're going to deny the vision that she laid down early, so that's even worse. And she'll take a quick back here.
He's going to be late starting his camp, but thankfully enough, he can get away with no leash.
It does look like they're going to go ahead and start it up for him, though. But what's Blue doing? Blue's going to be doing a little bit of the... okay, they're just dropping some vision. I thought they were going to go for a late cheese or something like that.
No, that's the nice of their bot lane to get that going for the Nunu. Help him not start behind.
And we've got Gwen roaming up to lane right now. All right, and this party is getting started.
Now, Xin Zhao did start on the top side of the map. You often see your jungler that wants to gank early start the opposite side of the map of where they'd like to gank. He's just letting us know that he does want to go gank that bot side early. He as well will stack up the Braum passive very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see the path he decides to take.
And you see the blue lane is also starting to let them push into them and kind of letting this red team come up and push into them. So they're going to give that opportunity to the Xin Zhao as much as possible. Meanwhile, Akali's taking a lot of damage heavily. Up there. Yeah. We're seeing
Laning 101, get the level 2 advantage. Press it, do some damage on them. Take that trade.
And Gwen stacking up a huge wave here to crash under, trying to deny some of that golden experience off of the Akali. And she's going to take an early back, it looks like, getting up early 16 CS. She's going to go ahead and just call it a day and return back with a Dark Seal and some pots. And she'll run back up.
I really like that play from Gwen, too. Just get the early shove, get your 3 back. You don't have to burn your TP. Your lane's going to push back into you. Get the Dark Seal.
And we got something breaking out mid. We've got a stun coming out from the Karma, getting a lot of damage onto the Graves here, but now Nunu's in the area. And it looks like they're both going to back off here. Yeah, so nothing will come of that, but it was a nice little stun from the Karma. It looks like Graves had to flash away to save himself, and then the Xin Zhao came up and put a little pressure on him as well, so nice little play mid. We've got Xin Zhao in the bot side river, the red team also stepping up a little bit, but a lot of vision controlled on their side, so they're going to see him coming from a mile away. And he's popped out on vision. Red team already kind of getting out of there. W lands. He goes in. Nami has to flash away. A lot of damage coming out. Knock-up lands. Even more damage. First blood goes over to Nami onto the Xin Zhao. He ended up taking a turret shot and was not able to survive. And now we've got the turnaround coming from the Underground Kings onto Ivy Gaming Black on the bot side. The flash comes out from the Braum. He gets hit with the bubble, and he's going to take a lot of damage and will fall to the Ezreal. That is 2 kills over to the side of Underground Kings, and that's the 3rd kill for the bot lane gank. Underground Kings, the Ezreal is able to lock up 2 kills. The Nami secures 1 kill, and that is a 3-0 swing in favor of the Underground Kings.
Oh, that is tough on your bot lane's mental there. That was so close to going the way of Ivy Gaming Black.
They thought that
so
was
close. The Xin Zhao really probably thought he had enough damage. He had a red buff on him. He slowed her. He hit the long range W to get his dash in. That's a really strong part of what they changed in his kit. And I'm sure in his mind he thought he had the damage, but slightly too far. Took a turret shot, trades to the Nami, and we have a pause.
The one thing I don't think that he calculated on is the heal. Exactly.
Ezreal.
The Ezreal heal came out, gave her a little boost once he got that knock up, and she was able to get out of there. And so then he just took way too much damage. The the Braum tried to tank as much as he could, but it wasn't enough. Now, for those of you watching the game with us, we are going to have a small pause here in just a second on the game. Every time there's a pause, our game will lock up just a moment afterwards. Here's the Zenzao letting...
Nunu, is he getting collapsed on? Oh, this is a bad spot for you to be, my
Karma.
friend.
Works out on the Nunu. A lot of damage coming through the knock-up, and that's the kill for the Zenzao onto the Nunu. A little bit greedy going in to try and steal those Raptors, but they ended up getting the kill on. There's the pause, and here we are back live again.
The Karma is shoved in, so she can answer. Braum's missing on the map. You don't know where Zen is.
Probably
I just
not
don't know if
time.
the enemy Raptors are worth it.
And this Gwen almost up twice the amount of CS on the Akali, 50 to 25. She's going backing, and she's got a garage sale start with the Amplifying Tomb, the Ruby Crystal, the Dark Seal, some refillable pots, Control Ward. She's got a little bit of everything, but it's really going to put her up in the match. She's got quite a bit going on for her. And that Nunu is not afraid to invade again. Even after it turned on her the last time she was in the jungle going for the Raptors, she still goes over there, and it looks like she was able to steal the Gromp away.
Ivy Gaming bot lane got them shoved. Take the advantage.
Stun comes out from Karma. Nothing going to come of it. But yes, they were able to definitely push out that lane, get the scuttle on there, deny it from the Nunu. And now here's Akali putting out some damage onto the Gwen, trading back. The ult comes out and it misses. That's a lot of damage going on to the the Gwen, but unfortunately, she is going to get the kill on the Akali. Just one too many turret shots along with the Ignite going out, and that is going to lock up the kill there.
Yeah, so close for the Akali, and sometimes when you're behind in a lane, you feel that pressure of, I need to make a play. I need to take care of this CS difference and try to recoup some gold, and stretch a little too far makes that deficit even worse, and got to keep playing the long game.
Well, and thankfully she didn't use her TP earlier, so she did have it available. She comes back to lane. Gwen has to back because she's no way she can sustain against that. So she is going to have a chance to go ahead and try and get stacked up here with the CS. We've got
UnderGround King takes the reset timings and gets a free dragon for it.
Absolutely. That's the first Drake of the game. Mountain Drake going over to Underground Kings. The next Drake is going to be a Ocean Drake. So that means we will see a Cloud or an Infernal Soul this game. I'm kind of excited for either one. Like, I'm not normally a Cloud Soul fan, I'll admit. But I think in a comp where you want to have some of those ults popping up often, that the movement speed and the ult cooldown is going to be huge for this game if they're able to get that.
Oh, yeah. And any new game, give me a Cloud Soul in there that I can just run around through the jungle and be even faster.
And this Akali starting to negate some of the gold difference that was up on the top side, only about 2-3 waves down at this point. The mid lane running pretty even at this point as well. The bot lane, CS is pretty equal. The only difference is that bad gank that went south for the side of Ivy Gaming Black. The Underground Kings are still up a little gold there. And that's where most of the gold difference through the game is right now. It's about 13,000 to the side of Ivy Gaming Black, 13.8 over to Underground Kings. So it's still a very close game here. But that's where we see that big gold difference coming from.
Yeah, very close considering their bot lane got 3 early kills.
And so far, the junglers not super present. I mean, they've shown up once or twice, but they're both kind of agreeing to power farm it out, try and get up to... They've both hit level 6 at this point.
Top laners dueling again. Akali doing everything she can to survive, but too much damage coming out of Gwen.
Yeah, I think she was going... I think it was a little mistake that she went in there on the R to go back towards the blue turret. She should have just backed out with the Shroud and taken out of there, but she tried to get in a little bit of damage, and it just didn't work out in her favor. All right, this blue bot lane going to go ahead and push it up. Ivy Gaming Black going to go ahead and crash that wave and reset in the bot side. Going to do the same thing top. And nothing too crazy going on the map right now. It looks like Rift was completed by Zhao, so he's holding Rift at this time, and we'll have to see where he decides to drop that.
It's interesting to see that Graves has been able to actually come up almost a 15 CS lead. He's got it pushing into him. He's at 15 at this point, and he's up a good 2.5 waves. He's got a level up. He's got a red buff. Had something on his mind when he did the Graves pick.
And let's not forget, he's got the smite. So if it comes down to it and they need to fight over an objective, something like a 50-50 Baron fight breaks out, they have themselves...
Nuna's coming in for the gank. He does get the knock-up off.
A little bit of damage comes out, but nothing more.
But...
We've got Zhao wanting to hunt down the Nunu, decides to disengage.
Almost a 30 CS lead for the Gwen. Akali's in a tough place, but Akali also does scale well into the game, so you can never count Akali out. She just needs one good fight, get some items under her, she'll be okay.
And now we've got Zhao and Karma roaming up, doing a lot of damage over to the Nunu. They're going to skirt back, and they're going to try and retreat to the tier 2 turret there on the top side. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of a fight brewing down here in the bot lane as well. Israel taking some damage. Ezreal playing up quite a bit, trying to land some poke on the Braum. Doesn't go in his favor, though, and thankfully he's got a Nami there just to get him right back to full health.
Gwen's getting another wave shoved under. Gets 2 plates here. Gonna deny this cannon. Maybe even getting a 3rd plate. She does get the third plate. That is a lot of Gwen. That is a lot of gold going onto the Gwen early. She's already got 2 kills. She's got a 35 CS lead. It is...
And she completes the first mythic of the game. She's got her Rift Maker all wrapped up with a bow on it. And so that's going to be the first mythic we see come out of the game is going to be on her. But like you were saying a moment ago about the Akali, all it's going to take is the team fight stage. Laning isn't going the best for her, but I think that they might have known that laning might not go the greatest. Once they get into team fights, though, that Akali can get onto the backline and try and kill some of the other squishy targets in the team, I think she's got a real chance to kind of roll through and steamroll, like you said, scale out the rest of the game.
Yeah, with the recent balance changes to Akali, they intentionally weakened her early game and gave her a little bit more scaling just to do what assassins need to do in the late game and get on that back line. So we'll see what happens. At this point, though, Ivy Gaming Black does have a good early game lead. They're rolling their objective. They're pushing down mid, dropping the Rift there. I'm a big fan of the Rift mid on that first one especially. That... Oh...
And that's going to be...
missed the solo kill top lane, but Gwen just continuing to go at Akali. Ignites exchange there, and Gwen gets more free plates up top.
Also, we missed the Underground Kings getting that second Drake, so the Ocean Drake is going to go over to them, putting them at a 2-0 advantage in the Drake department. We are going to get to see the Cloud Drake come out, too. And the poor Nami gets chunked out by the Aphelios. The flash comes over
Good bot fight by Ivy Gaming Black.
The flash came out from Ezreal to try and get around that Braum, but he wasn't able to output the damage, and they were still able to shut him down. Now we've got a little fight brewing out. Numbers advantage for the Underground Kings. And Akali will get a kill onto the Zhao. And that's all it takes. One kill for her to start stacking things up and making a difference in the game. As soon as we start getting out of this lane phase, she's going to become a more potential threat to the side of Ivy Gaming Black.
I do like seeing the two teams play towards their win condition. Like we mentioned, Ivy Black Gaming is somewhat more of an early game snowbally team comp. They're taking the early rift, they're shoving it mid, they're trying to press their lane advantages. But I do think the Underground Kings has good scaling, and they've taken the 2 drags. If they can get that soul roll in and get close to that edge, then Ivy Gaming Black is going to have to contest them. They're going to have to fight them at these dragon fights, and if you're the scaling team, you'll take that. You'll take the dragon stacking, slow the game down.
No, and I agree.
Trust in your scaling.
The dragon stacking is with you all game, right? Baron buff is a minute, 2 minutes. But the dragon is going to be there for the entire game. So it's really important to start stacking those and start stacking them early so that you have every advantage in the game. We've got a little fight breaking out here. The Braum lands his Q onto the Nami. Going to go ahead and block a little bit of damage. The ult misses from the Aphelios onto the Ezreal. Ezreal trying to dodge away, and nothing will come of it. They're going to try and turn it around. Nami ult misses everybody, but it was enough to disengage the fight, and blue team is going to go ahead and reset. Ivy Gaming Black just going to go ahead and walk back and start CSing again.
The fancy feet on Ez. He did a nice job sidestepping the skill shots in that fight to stay alive. You know, only burning the one sum out of there. Namiul's not too long a cooldown. You'll take that if you're Underground King's bot lane.
And first turret did end up going over to the side of Gwen, so that's going to be even more gold onto her. She was able to stack up almost every single turret, I believe. We've got a teleport coming down, and we've got Karma in the area. The stun lands on to the Ezreal. He will die. We've got Nami in a 3v1. She takes a lot of damage, and the Karma is able to get 2 kills there.
This is part of what we're talking about. Karma and Zen are very strong combo, but also huge play out of Braum there. He puts his shield up, blocks Ez's R, helped negate a lot of damage in that team fight, and now they will trade the bottom lane as well, taking both outers.
And it looks like
Gaming Black.
Graves was able to get the blue side mid turret down, so we're going to see them trade that mid turret in exchange for the top and bot tier 1 turrets. Ping's coming out around the Rift Herald. It's up on the map for about another 3 minutes or so, and it looks like the red team is pinging it, so they're going to try and get the prio on that and get that started. Meanwhile, Gwen and Akali getting into a fight over here. They ignite onto Akali. She's running away, but doesn't realize she's about to be greatly outnumbered. Nice job from the Akali getting out of there. A lot of damage coming out on the Gwen. She tries to survive. She's trying to sustain through, but she will ultimately fall to the Graves, who go ahead and use his ult to clean up the last of that.
Akali's able to slip out. She barely survives, but does Akali things. Dips, dashes, flies out of the team fight, lets her team come clean up for her. That's how you play weak side. Really good job out of Akali, and good follow-up from the Graves and the Nunu as well.
Right place, right time. They saw the fight going down. They had already been pinging around the Rift Herald, so it was very convenient that that's where they wanted to be anyways, and they were able to go ahead and get up there and shut down that Gwen. It's unfortunate that the Akali didn't get that gold because that would have helped her snowball more, but it's certainly good to get it onto the Graves at this point. And now we've got...
Yeah, and you're starting to see a lot of pings come out around Dragon. Everyone knows that timer's coming up.
20
Blue
seconds.
Team, Ivy Gaming Black, they really don't want to give up any more drags at this point and be forced onto soul points. So you can see them getting prio, you can see them getting vision. In come Nunu and Graves. With the Akali as well. She still doesn't have her mythic yet, so let's see how this fight goes. There's definitely a fight brewing around Drag. I'm excited to see these two teams. We haven't seen them fully clash like this yet.
No, this will be the first true team fight, but we've also haven't got Aphelios into the fight yet, so they are down a man on the side of Ivy Gaming Black if any engage happens here in the next second or two. And it looks like all 5 members are there. They're going to get spotted on vision very clearly, so we'll see what they try and do. Nunu coming in.
This is where the team comp comes alive. Nunu with Smite, your mid laner with Smite.
A lot of
you guys
damage
should have every objective.
A lot of damage coming out onto the Drake, but they're going to go ahead and reset it. Now blue side takes over prio in the Dragon Pit. Ezreal ult comes out. Nunu gets caught out. The Nami ult comes out, but Nunu will fall over to the side of Gwen. Zen Zhao will lock up the Akali. The chase is going down on Nami, and she will fall. You've got Ezreal and Graves trying to do what they can, but unfortunately that will be a 3-0 trade in favor of Ivy Gaming Black, and they will get their first dragon of the game, and they're going to put a lot of pressure here. They might even be running up towards Baron.
Look at the item difference between the two teams. You have Xin Zhao, completed mythic, no mythic yet on your Nunu. You have Karma with 2 full support items, just doing nothing but put giant shields and peeling for her team. Again, you look at Aphelios, completed mythic, no completed mythic on the side of Ezreal. I think it made that fight tough for Underground Kings. I think the items tell the story.
No, I think it's very true. Like you said, they've got a whole lot more mythics coming through. A couple of the ones that we see on the side of Underground Kings were just completed on this most recent back, so they did not have them for that team fight. and that is also going to be Rift Herald going over to the side of Ivy Gaming Black again. So that'll be their second Rift of the game. They're going to put it to good use, I'm sure. All Tier 1 outer turrets have fallen on the side of Underground Kings, so they're in a position here where they've got to do a lot of defending and put themselves in some unfavorable positions to try and get that pressure back on the map for themselves.
And just as we're talking about the items, Akali completes her Proto Belt. Nunu completes his Everfrost Gauntlet. You're starting to see some items. Shirelia's on the Nami. You're starting to have some items come in. Maybe they have a better shot in these team fights.
Well, and I think one thing is going to be the itemization on the mid game, right? Like, that's kind of what I mentioned as we were going through the draft. You've got the Karma, who's going a lot more of the support build, the Moonstone Renewer, the Staff of the Flowing Water, whereas you've already got an Eclipse and a Collector on the side of Graves. So the Underground Kings are going to be going to that lot more damage-focused team comp, where they want to output damage in those team fights, whereas the Ivy Gaming Black side is going to be really more around trying to sustain, provide peel, and let your DPS do what it's meant to do. The knockup coming from Braum, the flash out of Nunu, the ult return from Nami, a lot of damage comes out, and that's going to be Aphelios locking up the kill on Nami.
If you're Ezreal, you're just begging your team to wait until you're on Divine Sunderer. You're so close to your 2 items. Ezreal feels so good on Divine Sunderer Mermana, so you just slow down the game a little bit. Get your items. Wait to team fight at this point. You just got to try to slow the game down, I think, if you're Underground Kings.
Well, and it's interesting that he went Mermana first. Most of the games that I've seen, they go the Divine Sunderer first, they get the tier stacking, and then they complete the Mermana. So he is a little down in comparison to where that Aphelios is right now.
Yeah, it could have been how much gold he had when he backed. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do agree with you. I think it's probably more important to finish your Divine Sunderer before your Mermana.
And we've got a pinch happening from the side of Ivy Gaming Black. They're going to go ahead and lock down that kill, and the Underground Kings Nami will fall. They're going to chase and pursue the Nunu and the Ezreal, but nothing will come of it, and they're going to back off. But all 4 of them look like they're in the mid, and they're going to go ahead and try and push and knock on the front door. Not a huge wave here, but enough for them to get a little damage down. Meanwhile, Braum just tanking shot after shot. Doesn't even seem to phase him, really.
They dropped the Rift Herald mid.
They're going to go ahead and get some use
It's already
out of it.
almost gone. Well, it'll be interesting to see how much more they can shove.
And Gwen and Akali just fighting it out on the bot side. Rift Herald goes down, but it does accomplish its mission and gets the tier 2 mid turret down.
You can see him going for the scuttle. You're already getting close into another dragon timer. This game is starting to pick up pace here. As you get into the mid game, there's constantly something on the map for you to be fighting for. Whether it's vision, whether it's priority, whether it's shoving your lanes, there's a lot to do right now.
Well, and you look at not only the items now, but you see there's a 6,000 gold lead in favor of Ivy Gaming Black. They're up 8 kills. They're starting to match the Drakes. They've got the turrets, the pressure.
Gwen's so confident she went ahead and picked up a Magi's.
What is it, do you think, that the side of Underground Kings needs to do to try and control the pace of this game and find themselves back in it?
If you can figure out a way to secure Soul Point here, that does give you an advantage, because then they always have to answer you at Dragon. At this point, somehow Akali needs to try to use her stopwatch, get onto the Aphelios, and somehow try to blow him up. He's going to be their consistent damage through the fight. If they can end him early, I think you can fight. But
and
it's a tall order.
A lot of pings coming out from the blue side trying to engage on that Akali as she's out by herself in the lane. But now they're all going to turn around, and we have a fight brewing in the bot lane. A lot of damage coming out. The Ezreal ult will get blocked by the Braum, and we're going to see Nunu fall over to the side of Zenzao. Nami just barely getting away. Akali, well, there's your stopwatch she's for, but unfortunately it wasn't the way she wanted it. She tries to get in onto the Aphelios, but she will get brought down by the Aphelios. That's a 2-0 trade in favor of Ivy Gaming Black, and this will be their second Drake of the game, stacking up those Cloud Souls, stacking up those Cloud Drakes. And
unfortunately, Nunu's just not tanky enough at this point to really soak up enough engage.
She does just complete her Bramble Vest, though, so I'm excited to see how that will kind of affect the team fights. But I've got pings coming out all across the board from the blue side, wanting to get stacked up for a pick here, as they know that red team is going to try and answer them on Baron.
I like seeing them taking the time, clear out the jungle. Oh,
there's Nunu. She gets hit with the W. She's able to flash away and got scared out of her own jungle. That puts the blue team in a great position to go ahead and possibly start Baron here. And they're going to go ahead and start melting it down. It's already at about a 3/4
Great
health.
Baron taking comp.
And you got Karma in the bot lane answering that grave, so even the red team can't get an objective here. Nami going to try and make something happen, maybe? Nothing will come of it. The ult comes out a little late, misses everybody, and the blue team, Ivy Gaming Black, is going to reset here. So we've got Gwen with the Riftmaker. She's got the Magi's going. She's got the Zonias. We've got Xin Zhao, has his Stride Baker coming online with his lethality items. We've got the Kimtech coming online for Karma, so she's also going to start to help cut through. And that'll save up an item slot for Aphelios, because now he's going to get the Grievous Wounds applied to him whenever he gets shielded. And so that's just one more item that he gets to put towards pure damage and attack speed for him.
Yeah, Aphelios feels good on Kraken Slayer rune-ins. He's almost got the IE, which is just icing on the cake. You're so strong at that point. When you hit those 3 items and you only get stronger from there, it's definitely starting to get scary for the red team Underground Kings.
And take a look at Ezreal's build. He's going for more of that tank build. He's not going to be building any more damage items. I see that.
Yeah, it's common these days for them to go.
More of a tank build?
Just blanking on the name. It is Frozen Heart. There we go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ezra going Frozen Heart. You get the extra mana, which helps just build into your mana damage. You also get the attack speed slow when somebody's around you. So when Xin Zhao's diving on you, when Gwen's diving on you, you're getting that passive flowing of their auto attack. So it's a good build for Ezreal in this game, especially.
Very true. And also you've got a fight breaking out down here between the Karma and the Graves. He's trying to stop this push on the bot side turret, but there's only so much he can do with that Baron buff, and it will fall. Meanwhile, they're knocking on the inhib. That top side inhib is going to fall very quickly. You've got quite a wave stacked up here. They're going to go ahead and back out. Nothing more will come of that fight, but it does look like the Karma continuing to put pressure on the bot side. She might get picked off here. Ooh, a lot of damage coming onto that Graves. And that Aphelios ult able to lock down a lot of damage onto the Graves, and he will fall. Now you've got every member of the blue team back at the red team's base. They're going to go ahead and try and take this bot side inhib. Meanwhile, Gwen is knocking on the mid turret.
They've already got Gwen shoving up mid lanes. This is textbook how you close out a game. You go take every lane, take all 3 inhibs, double super minions coming in every lane. You just can't leave your base at this point as Underground Kings. Come out, clear their jungle, reset, take another drag on your way, maybe even wait for Baron. But at this point, when they can't fight you, I think you just run it down and try to secure the win. But we'll see how they play it out.
We have Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if after Xin Zhao clears out this side of the jungle, we get it back real quickly, and then a fight over Baron again. I don't know how much of a fight we'll see, because they're going to have to leave somebody at base with those double super minions coming down each lane. You're going to have somebody there to answer that, otherwise your base will fall the whole time you're trying to fight over Dragon.
And looks like Xin Zhao's not going to be there for the Dragon Spawn. They're that confident. I mean, I guess Real Shot is the only chance for Underground Kings to take it is with the Ezreal R across the map, but it takes a great Ezreal to do that.
And that's going to be the third.
You won't even see the try come out.
That's going to be the third Cloud Drake going to the side of Ivy Gaming Black. They are now on Soul Point, but I doubt we're going to be able to get to see that fight come down as they start to march into the base. You've got All 5 members coming down mid, not really too afraid of what's in front of them. You've got the super minions coming in just now meeting the base from top and bot, so you're going to have extra waves backing you up. And this will be the last fight of the game, or it could be.
You're just so strong at this point. You escort your waves in.
Gets onto the Akali. She's able to zone his there. She takes quite a bit of damage. And of course, my game is frozen. Is yours?
Oh, my game froze as well, unfortunately.
All right.
Do we know if that was the end of the game?
Let me go ahead and reach out and see if they FF'd at that point, because that does happen sometimes. All right, it does look like the game ended. So we're going to go ahead and swap back over to our music and everything. Thank you very much for hanging out. And we'll be back in just a couple moments.
Right.
All right, and thank you for joining us. We are back here at game two of Underground Kings versus Ivy Gaming Black. Joining me is my friend Slooper Cooper.
Hey, that first game was a great game. I'm excited to see what happens in game two.
Game one was awesome. We got to see Gwen into Akali. We got to see Ivy Gaming Black win the first game quite decisively. Um, I'm excited to see what we have coming out in this game. We've seen the Lulu ban, who is great with the hyper carries. The Zenzao ban, they did not want to see that again. We've got Alistar, Amumu, and Aatrox getting banned, and the Pantheon ban coming through. We do have Viego getting picked into the Malphite. We've got a Nocturne into the Nunu, and I love Nocturne. Nocturne's gank potential is huge. Obviously, Nunu is great for objectives. Excuse me. But I love Nocturne's gank potential, and I also love the Sylas. He's able to steal the Azir ult, the Nunu ult. I don't really know how Sylas stealing Viego's ult works.
I was just gonna say that. So Silas can steal your ult, Viego can steal you. Together, are they a whole champion? Is that how it works?
We'll find out. The last of the bans come through. Asol and Garen banned out of here, and Ornn and Vladimir as well taken out of the running. Callista locked in. Now, for those of you that play TFT, we're hoping that the Callista will actually work in this game and not like she does in the TFT and stop throwing her spears. We've got the Jinx against that. The Karma combined with the Jinx. I love the poke that they're going to have out there. And then you've got a Rel. Rel was really strong when she first came out. We saw her kind of fall off a little bit, but I'm excited to see her back in here and getting played again.
Yeah, I think she's very strong with Callista specifically. Rel definitely wants an AD carry that's ready to dive in with you. Callista, Samira, something along those lines. So I think it's a good pair up. If they can get an early lead against a squishy bot lane, they've got a chance to run away with the game, but we all know how Jinx scales, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, and you've also got the Malphite, who's going to just get tanky late game, and I don't know if they're going to go him tank Malphite, where I've been seeing a lot of the AP Malphite come through. But the other thing I like about the Callista Rel is that you've got the Rel, who once you have Callista's ult up, you can throw that across the map, get that stun off from her E, and then you've got even more potential to get in there and make things happen. So I'm excited to see how they utilize the Rel across the map.
I agree, and Underground Kings definitely went a much more traditional team comp this time around. Much easier to execute front-to-back team fighting. But they also have a lot of dive-in. Malphite dive, Nocturne dive, Sylas dive. And then you've got Karma buffing them up as they dive in. I like the draft out of Underground Kings this time. I think it's a good answer to how last game played out.
I agree. Like you said, their team is all about getting in there, locking people down, between the fear with the paranoia from Nocturne, the abduct abstain with all the damage output that Sylas can offer. The Malphite are, along with his tankiness, to sustain in there. That team is saying, we want to fight you. We want to come in to your team fight and win. Meanwhile, you've got Viego, who can take over any one of those abilities, any one of those champions, which is kind of scary. You've got a Nunu, who is going to be a little bruiser, definitely going to be fast, running at you, the Azir who can push you off, and then you've got that Callista and Rel who can engage. If you're watching in the chat, let me know who you think won the draft. Is it Underground Kings on the side of blue with Malphite, Nocturne, Sylas, Jinx, and Karma? Or do you think it was Ivy Gaming Black with the side of red with Viego, Nunu, Azir, Callista, and Rel? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to interact with you guys and hear what your thoughts are. As we get in here and this game loads up, I do want to say, number one, thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Number two, if you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button. And number three, stick with us. We'll be right back as this game starts. All right, and as we get loaded on the map, we will see teleport and flash coming out from both the top and the mid laners. Nothing crazy on the jungles or the ADCs. And again, Karma is going to be going with the exhaust. Rel will be going with the ignite. Let's get everything pulled up for you guys here. And I love that the Silas also has the Black Spear and is already using it. And we've got everybody running towards the bot side, it looks like, besides Malphite. Ivy Gaming Black on the side of red here going to 5-point out, but we've got quite a stack from the blue side coming up here near the bot side. And Nunu, again, going deep for that vision.
When you see people on the different teams playing very different picks, he went from playing Zen to picking the Nunu on the side of Ivy Gaming Black. You know, much, kind of a very traditional bot lane again. They played a Philios Braum last game. Here they are with the Callista Rel. But like I said, most importantly, I do like to see the changes that Underground Kings made to their draft. I like just the rock-solid Malphite up top, especially in Viego. He can just build armor. He can stack up, make his things happen up there, like you mentioned with the Nocturne. Traditional jungler, good dive, good engage, good gank assistance.
And that is going to be
overall well-rounded team comp.
That is going to be the traditional tank Malphite that we're going to see. He did not go common or anything, so we expect to see him to build quite a bit of armor. And with only really Nunu and Azir doing AP damage, that should be quite effective in stacking up. We've got...
Yeah, you'll typically see Grasp on Malphite. I'm interested to see how the Aftershock plays out, considering you can't really proc it until you're 6, but it will do its job when he's diving in.
Which is all you really need. And Azir getting an early push here into the Silas. Quite a bit of damage coming. This Jinx is just pushing this wave in hard, trying to get it to level 2 faster.
You definitely don't want the Callista and Rel to beat you to level 2. Which they are going to get close. Good engaged by Rel, but...
Rel taking a lot of damage, though. Without her horse, she is quite immobile. The flash comes out, a lot of damage coming down, and just barely not able to secure that kill. Meanwhile, on the top side, Viego doing a lot of damage over here to the Malphite. Putting some work in on him and pushing him off this wave right now.
Viego's roaming down to help the Nunu jungle. Oh, no, just getting a little vision. He will spot out if Nocturne tries to start that top scuttle.
Oh.
You have a fight in the mid lane. Nunu trying to get the gank off and almost dies in the process, but the phase rush will get him out in the end.
Nunu tries to go in with her ball, but the Silas turned it back on her, used the abducting Skanda on her, and was able to lock her up there for a moment. The flash, that was the Blabber Classic. We have the Nunu flashing over the Nocturne, smiting the scuttle and going over to the side of Ivy Gaming Black, and now we've got a fight breaking down here in the bot lane. A lot of damage is coming onto that Nocturne, and Nunu will get first blood on him. However, Silas is going to return the favor and get the kill onto the Rel. Nunu trying to escape, but the Jinx is going to lock up that kill. We've got Azir running for his life and taking a lot of damage, and she will end up getting the kill on the Azir. That is going to be two kills over on the side of Jinx, and a 3-for-1 trade throughout the fight. Underground Kings find themselves up in this game. We do have the jungler disconnecting on one of the teams, so we are going to just wait one moment while they get loaded back into the game.
It's a huge fight for your Jinx. She not only picks up 2 kills and an assist, she also got the kill on the Nunu, which secured her the double buffs. It was well played to not miss the clutch W at the end, get the final kill onto Azir. Lots of summoners blown. Callista looks like she's still running away trying to survive, but
They may be chasing her down throughout the rest of this fight, but you've got Jinx who's just going to continue to push in this bot wave, and I assume she's going to get a turret or so at least here. There we go. And the Callista may be able to get away from this.
she's missing so much here. You're going to see a TP down from the Azir to answer bot lane.
Just to stop that Jinx.
It's a good cover to at least stop Jinx from just shoving it under completely. Looks like Karma's going to work her way down back bot as well as we see another fight over the scuttle. And Rel's up here to support.
Rel's in the area, going to try and lock down the stun on that. The E misses, though. He's able to get out of there. Knows it's a 2v1. Isn't able to do too much about it and goes ahead and backs off. You've got Malphite, though, trying to push this big wave in that he's got stacked up into the Viego. For a tank, he's laying the beat down on the Viego, putting out some damage, even though he's down a level.
That's one place where I would have liked to see the grasp. It makes your trades in lane just a little bit better, but the Aftershock will make him tanky post 6. So we'll just again have to see how that plays out.
I think they're looking more at team fights here. They tried to go for the skirmish comp last game, and I don't think that it went the greatest for them. So I think now they've got a little bit more of that dive in, let's make things happen, and we have another pause coming through. Looks like somebody's having some ping issues, so bear with us just a second here while we go ahead and get everything worked out. Looking at the state of the map, that Jinx is up quite a bit, finds herself with a 6 CS lead, so that's a solid wave, plus the 2 kills. Everything in mid is relatively even. 1 kill over to the side of Silas over the Azir. The Nunu is up a healthy amount. She's got almost 15 more CS than the Nocturne and a kill. And the Viego is up quite a bit too. So this is Ivy Gaming Black, even though they are down 2 kills, 3 to 1 right now. They are still only down 500 gold overall because of the CS lead that they have across, most of the lanes.
Yeah, it's definitely a top jungle CS difference, and a couple in the mid, but not I think significant. It's mostly the farming by the Viego and the Nunu. Nunu's a power farming jungler. He's got a great clear, and so you would expect that out of the early Nocturne, but Nocturne just wants to power farm, get to 6.
Well, and the Nocturne's been involved in some fights. He gave over First Blood, so he's found himself in a position where he's been on the back foot the entire time.
The internet's not helping him either. I would be sure of that. Hey, we're back in the game. Let's see if the internet gets any better for Nocturne. He did disconnect and reconnect. We'll hope for the best there.
Also, on a side note, happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on this holiday. We know that you could be doing other things, and thanks for being here with us.
We've got a fight, not a fight by drag, but they're coming in to answer Ivy Gaming Black, who is starting the drag. With Callista Spears and Nunu, you do have good objectives secure. There is a fight breaking out.
Callista is able to lock down the Drake, but it will be Nunu who falls over to the side of Nocturne, and then we're also going to see Rel fall over. That's another 2 kills going to the side of Underground Kings. The slow comes through onto the Callista. Ping's coming out left and right.
Another kill onto the Jinx. Nocturne
almost misses her.
Bot lane.
The flash comes out as he tries to land the fear, but a lot of damage coming out onto both the Nocturne and the Callista. They will both get out with their lives.
If you're at the side of Underground Kings, you'll never complain about more gold going on to your Jinx. She's the late game insurance. You've got a strong team fight comp.
And you've
You're
got
up 5 kills to 1. This is your game to try to tie the series up one apiece.
And it also feels good because you've got the Malphite, right? You've got a tanky peel for yourself there. You've got some peel coming out of the Karma. You've got even peel coming out of the Silas. So this whole game is much like we say, keep the Jinx alive. Let Jinx do Jinx things for the game, and hopefully by the end of the fights, she's managed to put out enough damage to win you guys the game. Nunu coming into the bot lane for a gank lands the knock up onto the Karma and the Jinx. A lot of damage comes down. Jinx gets shut down along with the Karma. However, we see Silas coming in with the teleport and able to get the kill onto Callista. He's now trying to trade this back out 2v1, but he's not scared. He's going ahead and taking a lot of damage from them, and they're going to back off and say, no thanks, Silas. We don't want to have anything to do with you.
And you just wish some of the kills could have gone onto your Callista. You know, you'll take that, and you're happy that you got a kill onto the Jinx. Wish the goal would have gone onto your carry instead of your tank, but again, you'll still take the good gank at the end of the day. Well played by Nunu. The Silas TP down, though, did help them not lose as much. He was able to pick up a kill on the tail end of it, and so it all worked out okay.
And relieve the pressure so they didn't have just free roam to go ahead and push that in. So good job from the Silas reading the map correctly. And still, 8 minutes in, even though they're up 3 kills, they still only find themselves with less than 1,000 gold lead at this point. So a very good job on the side of Ivy Gaming Black from stopping the bleeding, pacing the game out. Nocturne ult comes through onto the Viego. The Fear lands. He flashes away. Nothing will come of it. Nunu's in the area, though, and also going to go ahead and do a little bit of pushing off. They might be trying to turn this around. The knockup lands on Malphite. The smite comes down. There's a lot of damage being traded back and forth, but nobody will die, and both teams are going to walk this one out and say no thanks. Nocturne staying in the area.
Yeah, I think he just wants to help him make sure the Malphite gets his wave under, gets it reset.
And
Nunu's coming back in with
repeating.
a snowball.
Nocturne's already gone, so it is just Malphite by himself. The knockup lands. Several of the
snowballs are going to be the end of Malphite.
That is Nunu getting the kill onto Malphite. She is now 4-2 in this game, has a 200 gold bounty, smart enough to read the map, come back in right after Nocturne backed, and get that kill onto the Malphite.
Oh, and Nocturne has DC'd again. In that top fight, you wish Viego would have got some type of assist gold on there, but again, you'll still take the lane presence. He gets to shove it under. He may even get a plate at the end of it. We will have to see what happens on the other side of this.
I'm not sure if he'll be able to get a plate. He's got 4 seconds. Somebody said they have a Fisher-Price modem. He's got 4 seconds until he spawns back up and his teleport's available, so I think it's going to be like maybe 7 seconds or so that he'll be able to try and whack on that turret.
Most importantly, he's getting it under. He's getting the reset, so it bounces back to him. He doesn't have TP up at this point, so he just needs to get it shoved under so he can get the free reset.
And quick.
I really hope.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, quick state of the map. We've got the gold almost tied up exactly even again. We've got Viego, who's got 30 CS lead on Malphite. The Nunu, who's up 4 kills to 1 kill in the jungle, and also up about 15 CS. The Silas is starting to get a little big and snowball, and so is the Jinx. And so we'll have to see how it shakes out. But right now you've got the bot side for Underground Kings getting very large, and the top side for Ivy Gaming Black getting very large. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. But I know if I had my pick of the two, I would want less gold on the Jinx as opposed to the Viego and the Nunu.
Yep, I would never. There's not many things I would trade for a Fed Jinx. She just scales so well, team fights so well, puts out so much damage that the earlier you can get her to 2 items, the better that'll bode for your team. Sounds
All
like a
right.
reconnect.
And we have the jungle back in the game. Wait for the freeze for us here in just a moment. There it is. And we will get right back in the game as soon as this freeze is over. All right, and we're back underway.
Everything's a little quiet for now. We'll see. We'll see what happens here in the next few minutes. We do have Dragon in less than a minute.
The Rel spamming some dance moves there on the bot lane. And this Nunu going for deep vision.
I'm interested to see what Jinx is able to complete here. She's already able to complete her mythic, which she does with the Kraken Slayer.
Nunu comes in onto the Malphite. A lot of damage coming through. The stuns, the slows, and it will be Viego who was able to lock up the kill and shut down the Malphite one more time.
Looks like they'll get a couple plates. Do they want to commit the Rift? Oh, they don't have the Rift here.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they just dropped it. Okay, yeah.
The Rift is coming down. They are looking to try and get first turret here, especially with that Malphite not having teleport. Nobody is here to answer this. In the meantime...
Yeah, at this early in the game, I would like to see them leave the turret up. I think that's the smarter play here. You don't necessarily want to leave lane yet. And he agrees. He is not going to finish the turret off yet. He's going to let it sit there and kill the minions and not finish off first turret quite yet.
Nocturne ult comes through. His Sphere is going to land onto the Callista. A lot of damage coming through. The Jinx ult's out. Some traps down. Now Rel catching some of that damage. And Silas is going to lock up the kill onto the Rel. The re-engage coming from the Nunu. Trying to trade back over onto the Nocturne. And she will get it. You've got the Azir getting caught under Tur. Nunu getting bust down quite a bit by this Silas. Both the Azir and the Nunu are very low in the health department. And that's Jinx getting the kill onto the Azir. And that's Silas getting the kill onto the Nunu.
Oh, and this Silas is so far ahead now. He's up to 5-0-4. 4-1-5 on the Jinx. Your carries are set up to carry the game. Really, it doesn't matter that the Malphite is behind. You'll take that as your team. If your carries are ahead and Malphite can just press R on a team fight, it's about all you need him for sometimes when your carries are this far ahead.
Very true. With Malphite, he's just going to build armor. And you can do that with little or a lot of gold. You know what I mean? Eventually, he'll get those items completed. Eventually, he will be able to soak up damage for you. But meanwhile, if you've got a Silas and a Jinx both sharing 9 kills, 9 assists, and just a death between the two of them, both of them coming in at just under 100 CS, they've got boots completed, they've got their mythics completed, and they're working on their second items already. And Silas has 6 stacks on his Dark Seal already.
Yeah, and interesting to see him go the Ludens here. I feel like you typically these days see Silas run the Everfrost. Everfrost, is that what it's called?
Everfrost is what I've seen a lot more played on the Silas. The stun that comes out helps you lock down your E so that you can just land your Everfrost. You know they're not moving.
Yeah, you dive in, set your Everfrost off, but Ludens is pure damage, and maybe he's just thinking with how far ahead he is, if he can just blow up Callista, blow up Azir, blow up Viego, takes out a huge swings the fight for your team. Oh, and there's a collapse onto them bot lane here. They're coming after the Gromp. They get it, and that's tough for their bot lane. 2 more kills going down, over.
Yes. And it looks like the Viego is going to teleport in and get caught out. A lot of damage coming through, but he will not die.
TP's down, ult's out, but he did break first turret. up top, so he's not trapped in the lane anymore.
Jinx and Karma going to answer here and get the bot wave or the bot turret for the red side. And this Jinx is huge. There's not much she can't do on the map, and there's not anybody that she's really afraid to run into. And there's the stun. The ult misses from Azir. Meanwhile, the Jinx is going to just be putting out some damage onto the Azir.
That is my favorite Sylas back. It is amazing. If the camera was catching that for you guys too.
I don't know if it did or not. I apologize. Froggy, the game has been paused off and on because there have been technical difficulties. We apologize for that, but thank you very much for checking in. And Callista, not even on her Immortal Shield bow yet. She's working on it. She's
Swifty boots early.
I was about to say,
not typically what you see on Callista.
Unless you're trying to reduce the CC coming out of the team between the Fear on the Nocturne, the Q and the R on the Malphite. You've got the Abducting Sound coming out from the Sylas, even the W coming out of Jinx, and you've got a stun coming out from Karma. So every single member of that team, from top to bottom, literally, has some form of CC. So I think maybe the Swifty boots are a good call, especially early, trying to get a little reduction on that CC. Sylas with the nice dodge from the Nunu. The smite comes down on the Sylas. He's doing quite a bit of damage. The Kingmaker is going to keep him alive. It's now a 3v1. He takes the Nunu ult and tries to turn it back around. A lot of damage coming out. He will trade the kill over. Callista is going to go ahead and get the kill on Sylas. But it's a 1-for-1 trade. And in a 1v3, that's not a bad deal. If you're able to waste 3 members of the other team and still trade out 1-for-1, that's okay.
And you are just loving that if you're the Callista. Finally some gold to influx into you, and you get that big shutdown on the Sylas. Lower some of his stacks on his Mage Eyes. You need that. You complete the Immortal Shield bow now. You needed that extra gold.
And she comes back with the Immortal Shield bow. She's also going to be going with the Null Mantle and the Doran's Shield here.
Yeah, it could be going a Wit's End or something like that. The percent health damage helps you with the Malphite. The MR obviously going to help you with the Karma and the Sylas. So we'll see where she ends up going.
And the Red Herald going over to the side of Underground Kings. So last game, we had Ivy Gaming Black that was able to secure both Heralds. This time, each team was able to secure one, and so we'll see how they utilize it, if they're going to want to put it mid to help knock down that turret and relieve some pressure, or if they want to march it on down to top or bottom and try and get up closer to one of those inhibs. You've got Nunu hanging down the bot lane, possibly setting up for a dive in the area with this wave cashing in from the Viego. And nothing will come of it.
Nope, everyone's just kind of pushing lanes out, catching their farm. There's no big objectives up right now, so just make sure you have your prio in your lanes. Callista's still trying to farm up.
This mid turret looks like
Rel
it's going to
comes
fall
over
down
the wall.
to the Jinx. And Jinx is able to lock up that mid tier 1 turret. That's 2 turrets over on the over on the side of Underground Kings.
Well, Underground King still has the Rift Herald as well, so do they maybe try to force that top? Do they break more open mid? I'm interested to see how they decide to play that out. Viego also is on the bot side of the map, getting that to about half health on that turret as well, just under.
Well, and here's the thing. He's got quite the CS lead over the Malphite now, so he is becoming a real threat. And once we get into team fights, if he uses that dash to get onto the Jinx, to get onto the Karma, you could find yourself with a bit of a swing where Callista is able to finally deal some damage and win the fight. And
interesting. So they do decide to keep dropping the Rift top. Maybe they figured they can get early top pressure. Maybe go for a early Baron. You do have a good Baron taking team comp here, so
Well, not only that, but
we'll see how they play it out.
you've got 4 members from Underground Kings up here. You've already taken 2 turrets without having to use the Rift. It's going to go through, and the teleport comes in from the Malphite. Nocturne ult comes down. The ult comes in from Malphite, and you've got a hell of a game going now. Double kill over to Malphite. That going to be Viego locking up the kill onto the Viego. And Jinx will lock up the kill onto the Viego. So you have a 1-for-4 trade in favor of Underground Kings here. They were able to get the charge off on the Rift Herald. And Jinx isn't slowing down. She's going to sit here and say, I want to get this turret.
And what did we say earlier? Doesn't matter if your Malphite's behind. If he can just press R and let your carries do the work. It hurts if you're Azir, because Azir did have a great flash ult there to scoop in 2 members of the enemy team, but it just wasn't enough. They just don't have the damage behind them like your 8-1 and 5-1 carries on the side of Underground Kings. And Jinx, 2 full items now. You have 2 items on Sylas with a 17 stacked Magi's and a stopwatch. He's got all the playmaking potential. The game is in your hands at this point, and if you can just continue to apply the pressure that you have now, it is getting tough for Ivy Gaming Black to really do much on the red side of the map.
Dragon's going to be spawning here in less than a minute. This is the potential for the side of Ivy Gaming Black to either tie it up and make it 2-2, or for the Underground Kings to put themselves on sole point. And we'll see who jockeys for priority now as this Drake is going to be spawning in just under 30 seconds.
Do they? No, it looks like they're just clearing out the vision. They're not going to try anything too sneaky, but you do have dragons spawning.
And it looks like you've got 4 members from the side of Underground Kings hovering around Baron to distract the red team from the fact that Nocturne is going to sneak this dragon out and get them on sole point.
Yeah, there's not anything they can do. They're just going to give up free soul point drag. Maybe they just don't think they can contest it. Maybe they didn't think they'd be on it so fast. I don't have a good answer for you at this point.
Well, it looks like they have vision in the river there, so they had to know that they were on it and just potentially hoping that that maybe they could catch a fight over here in a man advantage on the top side, but it looks like the Underground Kings were able to back off and just distract them long enough for Nocturne to lock that down.
Yeah, you're down almost 5k gold. It's tough. They come clear out the Baron vision, checking the boxes off, getting ready for that Baron, because again, they do take it very quickly at any point they decide to start that up. Looks like they're going to take a quick reset, though, before they want to commit to the Baron. Maybe they have some items coming in. Their Jinx is almost on 200 farm at this point. 5-1-7 does get the Last Whisper there for the extra armor pen onto the tanky Nunu. You also have a tanky Rel. I think it's a great third item to go on the Jinx. You do have a lot of armor on the enemy team, so
absolutely, it'll help you cut through the, like you said, cut through the Rel, cut through the Nunu. You've already got the attack speed, the empowered third autos are coming out, so why not get a little extra damage to cut through that armor so you can just work your way through the team. And it won't hurt to have it onto the Azir or the Viego either, you know? We've got pings coming out from the blue team left and right that they want to start up the Baron. Red team still hovering in the area as well. Viego hovering bot side. I don't know if he's going to try and just trade objectives for the Baron. I don't know if it's the wisest choice or if you want to have...
Yeah, I think they figured they can 4-man the Baron. They do take it very quickly, but also you never want a 50-50 with a Nunu. Nunu doesn't have a way over the wall besides his flash, and you do have Sylas on the other end trying to distract them.
There's the
Nunu
flash.
comes in. Will he get it?
No! Jinx is able to secure the kill and blow up the Nunu. Sylas gets the kill onto the Callisto, and the Rel is running away for her life, but she will fall to the Sylas as well. Azir uses his ult to go ahead and get away from everybody, but Jinx will find him with the slow and get the kill onto him. Meanwhile, you've got Viego pushing the hell out of the bot lane, trying to make something work, but he's going to back because he's afraid to lose his base.
Yeah, it was a good try by the Nunu. He might have been CC. I didn't get a chance to see exactly what happened in there, but it was a valiant effort. He knew at this point in the game he had to try something. You're down 7k gold. They have Baron. You have an open inhib. You just have to try to get the Baron still. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to, and we will see blue team likely take 2 inhibs here. You'd imagine they go up to top side, but they may just want to get out of dodge while they have the chance. They are pushing up. They have the minions coming in. If you can just keep your Jinx alive, she will shred the whole team.
Teleport
and you have a
comes
TP
in
even
from
coming in
Malphite.
now as well.
Silas, Jinx is able to kill on the Viego. Blue team taking a lot of damage, but they will manage to trade out the realm for it. There's the
Jinx
Nunu.
is free firing. She
There's
made
the
Penta
Callista.
here.
There is the Azir is just going to stay in base, and not much he can do at this point. Try and pokes out the Jinx, but this will be the Underground Kings securing the kill here, and that's going to be a GG. Thank you for tuning in to the second game. We've got one more game coming at you. Stay here live with me, and we'll get started shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a 1-to-1 series. Ivy Gaming Black was able to win the first game. Underground Kings winning the second game. We have the third game of the series coming up here shortly. Stay tuned. If you haven't already done it, hit the follow button. We'd appreciate it. And get active in the chat. We'd love to talk with the people watching the game a little bit. All right, and thank you for staying tuned. This is the final game of the series. With me, as always, Super Cooper. How you doing?
Doing great. Again, another really fun draft to watch. We had two great games back to back, one win apiece. It's been a fun series to watch and host. And thank you again for having me, Charles. It's been a good evening.
We're happy to have you. Looking at the bands, we've got Lulu, Karma, and Lee Sin coming out from the side of Ivy Gaming Black, and Atrox, Ari, and Alistar coming out from the side of Underground Kings. We've got an Echo top, or perhaps an Echo mid in the Nar top.
Yeah, when I was watching the draft, I want to say they picked these in a different order. They probably just got messed up on their side because of all the swapping that they had to do. Because the Echo was actually the very last pick after Blue Team had picked Syndra. Echo's a classic answer into the Syndra. So I would definitely expect the Echo to go top. Echo mid, Nar top with Udyr in the jungle. Because these were not the bans that the enemy team had banned. Or the red team, I should say.
They're just going for some of the easy ones. Gotcha. They're all going in
Yeah,
order
just
there.
AA trucks, Ari, Alistar.
All right, and let's see how the rest of this draft goes through. We've got an
Yeah, you
Ash.
had, and something I really like to answer. The red team is picking Ash, Senna in the bot lane, and so for the answer, blue team locked in Misfortune Blitz, which Blitz is a personal favorite champion of mine. Love it into low mobility bot lanes. Just helps with the hooks a little bit. Overall, I liked the draft from both teams. Something that was interesting is during the draft, Red Team was target banning the top laner. They banned Gwen in the first round. They banned Viego the second round. Didn't want him to play either of those champions again, and yet here he is on an Akali now. Carry top laner. I like to see it.
And as we're looking at the teams, I like the Gnar, I like the Udyr, both of those kind of bruisery champions. You've got the Echo, who's very mobile and provides a nice bit of burst and AP damage. The Ashe is able to provide some CC along with the Sin in that bot lane. But we've got a lot going on the other side. You've got an Akali with a Zenzal, both of those providing a lot of burst damage. The Syndra, a great control mage. And then you've got that Misfortune, whose ult, paired with the Blitzcrank, can lock down champions, stop them from going mobile, and then just blow them up.
Yeah, and as you know, you look at the top lane matchup, Akali just really wants to go in on Mininar. I think that's kind of the window you're looking for there. Zen and Neuter, both scrappy skirmishers, definitely different strengths, kind of serve a similar role, but do it in a different way. Again, I'm excited to see how this mid lane goes. Like I said, Echo is a classic matchup into Syndra. Your R really helps negate all of the damage from her R. You can just press it, rewind it, and Echo is good to go again. Misfortune Blitz, just a classic bot lane in my mind. I really enjoy those two together, and I love Blitz, so I'm happy to see he got picked in this last game of the night.
Blitz is a very fun pick to see. Like you said, a team with squishies where you've got the Echo, where you've got the Ashe, where you've got the Senna in the bot lane, that he can just yank them and then drop that Misfortune ult on them. Or if you're even able to lock up a team and have the Misfortune ult run across a couple different people, that's what you're looking for. And we have
So,
about a. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like we've got a really good third and final game coming up. I'm excited to see who can close out the series with the 2-1 advantage. It's been spicy game after spicy game.
And
Last one only went about 25 minutes, though. Underground Kings really were able to turn on the game quickly and end the game quickly. We'll see what they're able to do this time.
all right, everybody, will stay tuned. We'll get into the game here shortly. right, and as we get loaded in, let's see the summoner spells and the runes the champions decided to take here. We do have the Akali not taking flash again. Besides that, mid and top going to run with the teleports. Heal on both our ADCs, and Ignite coming out from the Blitzcrank, and Exhaust coming out from the Senna.
I think Exhaust is always a good answer when they have someone else to dive on you, like a Xin Zhao. Even if you can get the exhaust off on the Syndra before she's able to get her R off, Exhaust Misfortune while she's Ring, I think it's definitely a good pick here in this matchup. Blitz always has to take Ignite. Your goal is to kill them in that lane. You're very much playing a kill lane here down in the bot. But Ashe and Senna will scale very hard, so they're just going to try to survive the lane, poke out the blitz so he can't feel free to step up, look for those hooks. Udyr not as much in the meta as he definitely once was before all the movement speed nerfs, but we'll see what he's able to get done here against the Xin Zhao.
No, and I agree. I was interested to see the Udyr come through because, like you said, that is not a champion that has been in meta here recently. But I'm excited also to see how this goes for him. And we're getting loaded up here onto the Rift. We see Corrupting Potion coming out on the side of Echo here.
Yeah, and interesting that he took Minion Dematerializer as well. Sometimes I see champions take that now where they kind of have a harder time shoving the lane early. You can take that Minion Dematerializer, take the cannon off the map, and always guarantee that you have the shove. But not a super common rune that you see these days. So I like the adaptation to see him do that against where Syndra should have the early push against him.
Now, both top laners going with the Doran Shield. We got a Chilling Smite coming out for Udyr and a Challenging Smite coming out for Xin Zhao. Besides that, everything else is pretty standard across the map, and both teams going for a 5-point. Udyr's already backed, gotten his sweeper. And we'll have to see how this game gets started underway.
Kind of interesting they didn't go for any type of invade with the Blitzcrank. I know it's very common that you'll see at least some type of invade, fish for a hook, see if you can get a hook, burn a flash, burn a sum of some kind. But nope, like you mentioned, they just decided to 5-point out. They will just wait for the buffs to start. We do have junglers starting on the same side, top side of the map. They'll start opposite buffs. We'll see if they both want to path towards that bot side. Again, I think Zen did start on the top side last time they were on the blue side of the map as well. You know, I like to see maybe the Zen start red and just go for an early level 2 gank. Maybe he doesn't feel like he has a good mid or bot to level 2 gank, so he just decides to start top lane instead. We'll see where the pathing takes them.
Now we've got Syndra with a great push here in the mid, pushing in on the Echo here in the mid lane. A lot of trading going out on the bot side of the map, so this is a back and forth game already. It's a spicy one to start off with, and I'm excited to see how the rest of it goes. And
some trading between the mid laners.
The Electrocute does proc on the Syndra and takes her down a little bit.
I think at this point, the red team bot lane, we might see a
we
solo kill
blood
her early. Oh, you almost wish you had the Ignite, but I'm sure the TP will come in handy later, especially as he's sitting in the side lane. That was a close, almost kill for the Echo, but now he's got the shove. He's got the priority. This is why you see people playing Echo into Syndra.
And it looks like it's going well for him. He's managed to win out a lot of those trades.
You can see Ashe and Senna just trying to shove in the bot lane. It's much harder for Blitz to land hooks if they're constantly getting shoved under turret. Udyr's clearing his blue, waiting for the buff to spawn, or the Scuttle Crab. Looks like he is here first. Zen's on the outside in the lane as well. He is going to get seen on vision. You can see the pings coming out now. Oh, he doesn't have the prio, and he's flirting with it. Oh, he decides to commit here to see if Udyr has taken it. Udyr's working his way towards mid lane. We'll see if he can get the gank off.
And Udyr is going to come in, and Syndra will back off respectfully so.
Nope, Uter's just going to go for the double crab, which is always a great feeling as a jungler. Zen just has to go to his
And there's
Krugs,
the
try to
hook.
farm
It
that out.
misses from Blitzcrank. He's not able to land the hook onto the Ashe, so they're going to back off there on the bot lane as well.
And Akali's done a good job of keeping this lane in a good spot for her. She's not having to shove and expose herself. Gnar keeps trying to shove it in. He hopefully can get it shoved in with this Mega Gnar here. I would expect him to be able to so that he can get the back off. Oh, Blitz finally lands a hook. Oh, with Zen down in the gank in the bot lane, and that does let Misfortune survive. They go for a second one, but I don't think they'll be able to quite get it.
No, but that is the first blood over to the side of Misfortune from that beautiful Xin Zhao gank, so they'll take that and reset.
Looks like they'll go for at least one plate here.
Oh, they are. I was about to say they're not going to
You've got a big enough wave. You might as well deny the cannon. You have Demolish on your Blitzcrank.
Meanwhile, Ashe is getting back here. They're going to stay in the area and continue to fight.
I like to see Uter at least counter jungling, taking the Gromp, taking what he can, as he knows Xin Zhao spent a lot of time on the bot side. Oh, close hook on the Blitz, but there was a creep in the way.
And there's some damage coming out onto the Akali. She's going to run into the Udyr. He gets the stun. Gnar putting out some damage. She's trying to run away and escape, but she will fall to the Gnar, and that is that's a traded kill back over to the side of Underground Kings.
And on top of that, the wave is in a great spot for Gnar. Akali should be able to TP up there once she's alive, but thankfully for Gnar, he's just got it frozen there. He's just hanging out now. Thank you, Udyr, he says. And Udyr getting the early Swifties. He's really leaning into the movement speed in his build. He knows that as Udyr with no gap closers and you're just running at him, got to do that as quick as you can.
Yeah, between the phased rush and the Swifties, he is hoping to just be as mobile as possible. The only benefit they could really have beyond that is if they get an Ocean Drake and they're able to just run around in the jungle. We've got Blitz with the roam up to mid, matching the Xin Zhao. He backs off. The W will land on the Echo. A lot of damage coming through. His ult's still up. He pops it, and now you've got Udyr and Senna in the area, and we've got a 3-for-3 fight breaking out. Oh, make it 4-for-3. Ashe joined it now. Meanwhile, that Misfortune is just wailing on the bot side turret, getting herself some solo XP and some solo gold.
Yeah, I think you'll take that trade all day. You got the Echo to blow his flash. Misfortune got free farm, free turret plate, but now you see that the red team's going to make a quick play at Drag. We'll see if they have time to do it. Xin and Misfortune are coming to answer.
And Xin Zhao dashes in onto the Senna. They're going to go ahead and
Instant
start.
exhaust, but the exhaust is worn out now.
They've got the drag started up, and it will likely fall to the side of Ivy Gaming Black.
And you say thanks for the leash, you take it, and you go back to lane.
And this is a good game so far. Nice even match. You've got the Blitzcrank coming in, trying to get the... Ooh, he flashes, gets the knock up and ignite onto the Ashe. A lot of damage coming through, but the heal comes through, and Blitzcrank will secure the kill onto the Ashe. Senna trying to follow up and lock down the Misfortune, but she's not able to do so. And meanwhile, we've got a fight breaking out topside. The flash stun comes out at Udyr. He's working his way onto this Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao smites the blue buff just to stay alive, but he's going to get a 3v1 and find himself taking a lot of damage and falling to the Gnar. He got no roam from the Syndra, no roam from the Akali, and gets caught out. Meanwhile, the Senna falls over to the Misfortune, and you've got Ivy Gaming Black starting to run away with the game at this point.
Yeah, that's a tough one when you don't expect Udyr to do so much damage. He doesn't have items yet. He just have the Swifty boots, but the R, since it got buffed forever ago, that put him back in the meta. It did the damage that needed. He got collapse from Echo, and well played with them transitioning to the Rift Herald. You know, of course, I'd like to see them use that mid. I think that's your best place for it. Break the map open. Get your Echo roaming around. Get him more ahead.
And the CS almost tied up top lane, almost tied up mid lane. Really, the only difference that we're seeing is the Udyr is a little bigger than the Zenzao, and the Misfortune is getting quite a bit bigger than the Ashe.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Gnar is able to do now that he goes and spends his gold, because he was probably sitting on quite a bit after those 2 kills.
And, oh, he will get the Kindle Gem, the Phage, the Sheen. He comes back with a nice little buy.
Divine Thunder done already. That's got to feel great on your Gnar. Oh, Xin has got to get out of there. He does. He's able to blast one over the wall, knock the Udyr back. You see some pings coming out of mid lane as the Echo does have the prio at this point.
And he's going to land the Electrocute. A lot of damage onto the Syndra, however. Not able to get too much more than that. And we've got Drag coming up here in about 2 minutes. I'm excited to see who starts laying the prio down for that.
Yeah, I am as well. Especially you start seeing some items that are going to start coming online here soon. Like we said, Gnar's almost at his mythic. Misfortune is closing in on her mythic as well. You know, where those early kills are going. It's the battle of top versus bot. And Rift they do decide to use the Rift mid. They didn't break the turret open yet. They will most likely get it here, I would imagine. But Syndra's putting out damage.
She's trying to stop them as much as she can. The ult comes out of Ezreal. And they're going to go ahead and get first turret here in the mid lane. But
Echo ends up dying.
Yeah, Syndra was able to trade the kill onto the Echo.
You almost got first turret if you're the side of Ivy Gaming Black on the blue side, but no, unfortunately it did go to red side. They will finish it up here, though, you would assume. They're just cutting them off the wave, cutting them off the XP and farm. But, oh, no, Misfortune is caught out.
Misfortune taking some turret shots as well.
Big shutdown gold onto Ashe.
Now, Blitzcrank trying to run away, but he's going to get caught out here. And he will fall to the Udyr. And that's what they needed to tie it up. Underground Kings now in the lead with a little bit of a gold lead here. Dragon's going to be coming up here in about 30 seconds or so. And that's exactly what Underground Kings needs to do. They need to get some good picks. They need to get some skirmishes, keep themselves in this game.
They actually take the gold lead with that, and you're starting to see some items come in. Like you said, you've got Divine Thunderer done on Gnar. You have Temk, I can't say that word. Turbo Chem Tank, excuse me, coming out of Udyr. It looks like he's building into the Dead Man, so again, leaning heavily into the movement speed.
And the Dragon is here. They did do some damage. Meanwhile, the Blitzcrank Q goes out, and he's not able to land anything with the hook. Akali and Gnar trading in the top lane. Mega Gnar about ready to join the party. Teleport is available on Akali, but not on the Mega Gnar. So for this fight down here around Dragon, wouldn't be surprised if Akali gets herself into a position where she's able to teleport down and try and make the change, make a difference in the fight if anything happens. And we've got plays coming out everywhere. Underground Kings pushing in on the mid-tier 2 turret. Meanwhile, Misfortune going down to catch the wave. And you've got 4 members of Underground Kings sitting here whacking on that tier 2 turret. Let's go ahead and get a visual of that. They're going to have to back out here. Not much they can do.
Misfortune still just sitting in that bot lane, soaking up the solo XP and the farm. She's got almost a 40 CS lead. It's about 35. We got a fight breaking out mid.
And Syndra is going to fall over to the side of Echo. Echo is going to lay out some more damage while they continue to work on knocking down that turret. His ult pops. He's still alive. Zenzao will get the kill onto the Echo. He took one too many turret shots. Now you've got the turret falling on the side of Ivy Gaming Black. Turret plates have fallen across the map, so there will be no more additional gold. She follows the dash in. A lot of damage in the Ignite comes out onto Gnar. The Mega Gnar pops, though, and that will not be the kill. You've got Blitzcrank roaming in the area trying to catch the, potentially catch the Gnar here, but he's aware that there's likely people up in the area, and he's going to back off and reset by Tier 2 turret.
Yeah, you see the respect from the Gnar. He's clear back in that last push by his second tier turret. And Blitz will at least come get the Demolish proc off here. They definitely don't have enough to take the whole turret, but they will continue to deny from the Gnar, who doesn't have TP yet. He's going to have to walk back to lane.
Also, K-Drag-V, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it.
We have two coming up with the TP committing as well. Looks like Red Team will just have to back off at this point.
And you've got 4 members of the side of Ivy Gaming Black that are going to try and knock down this top side Tier 1 turret. But the wave gets cleared out, and they will have to just reset here. And we've got a game pause coming through. And I don't know the exact reason for the pause here. While we're looking at the pause, or while we have the pause, let's do a quick check-in. 2 turrets for both sides. Gold is pretty even. 5 kills for each side. The side of Ivy Gaming Black has 2 Drakes. It is going to be a Cloud Drake, so like I mentioned earlier, Udyr is going to get all the movement speed he could possibly want. We've got some Mythics online across the board, and we've got a wave coming in topside as they are going to just knock down this Tier 1 turret. And there's the freeze on us. I apologize about the freeze.
Oh, there's the unfreeze. Okay, great. Continuing to move their Misfortune around the map where she needs to be to take turrets. I think it's a good play. Now I'd like to see blue team somehow get that mid turret down so they have all the outers, all the map pressure, but it's looking at this point like red team is going to secure the Rift Herald, so it's not going to be your answer there. You're going to have to figure something else out.
And, yeah, so Underground Kings get the Rift Herald here. They are going to go ahead and...
what a cheeky back by Misfortune.
Very cheeky. I was about to say I'm surprised she didn't get caught out there. Echo's going to go ahead and knock the door on this Tier 1 turret on top side, and Senna's going to help him knock that down. And this is a great back and forth game. Very well played, very tied up so far. Echo taking turret shot after turret shot. That man is not afraid to have turrets get on him at all.
Misfortune starting to put in some damage, but it's just not enough. What can Echo do here?
He's going to try and go for the outplay. Let's see. He's managed to get away a little bit. Misfortune not able to do anything there. He is going to give himself the execute. He knew he couldn't get out of there. He takes fatal damage from the minions and denies Misfortune the kill. Very well played on the side of Echo.
And he made her use both her sums to do it, so you'll take that if you're the Echo.
Meanwhile, the side of Ivy Gaming Black is able to get the Tier 1 mid-turret, and we've got 4 turrets over to the side of Ivy Gaming Black now. They are starting to get a little bit of a gold lead here, a little bit of a pressure lead here, a little bit of a kill lead here. We've got everything going for them right now, but it's still a close game. Anybody could turn it around.
Yeah, and Shirelli is completed now on the Blitzcrank. Not always what you see on him. There's a couple different options of what you can go, but boosting your whole team's movement speed is never a bad idea, especially when you have a Zinzao and an Akali.
And the Dragon's going to be joining the map here in about 25 seconds. This could be sole point for the side of Ivy Gaming Black, or it could be a chance for Undying Kings to get themselves back into the game and deny or at least drag out the dragon here on the map.
Yeah, look at Udyr's build. He went 2 winged moon plates. I wonder if maybe he just had enough gold for one of those not to complete the dead man's, and he just wanted the immediate spike in gold, maybe for the dragon fight. Maybe just wanted both of the +5 movement speeds. It's interesting build, though, to say the least.
Well, I mean, we'll see if it works out in the long run. Here comes Blitzcrank. He gets the pull and manages to yoink the Senna out of the Misfortune ult. Misfortune gets the kill onto Ashe, and Syndra will get the kill onto the Senna. Might not have used the hook right then if he knew the Misfortune ult was going to be coming down. And the dragon is going over, and it falls to the side of Ivy Gaming Black, putting them on soul point at just 18 minutes, meaning we could see a 23-minute soul in this game. And there's still Rift Herald on Ashe right now. I wonder where they're going to drop that.
You don't always see it go to your AD carry, but maybe they just happen to be standing there. You notice, though, Kali's just been sitting in a side lane. You know, she's getting a slight CS lead. I'd be interested to see where the XPs are at between her and Gnar, concerning it seems like he's been roaming a little bit more for the team fights.
Well, looks like they're both at level 12 right now, so there's not a huge difference there. We'll have to see and keep an eye out to see if who rolls over to 13 first. Syndra does find herself a level up on the Echo.
And they decided to drop the Rift Herald mid.
I think that was due to an
having to.
Yes, I don't know that that was as strategic as they'd have liked. Rift Herald will drop here, and that is just some unfortunate Rift Herald usage there. You would have liked to have seen that maybe dropped bot side where you could get more out of it, but blue team rotating over towards the side of Baron. There's a lot of red vision over there, so they're going to have to respect the Underground King's ability to roam over and know that they're doing it.
And that is a giant wave top lane. You want someone to go pick that up. You'd hate to lose that all to the turret. But there's a fight breaking out mid, so...
Here we go. Xin Zhao manages to use his art, knocks the Senna out. He will lock down... Ooh, we've got kills coming out left and right on the side of the Ivy Gaming Black. They were able to lock up the kill onto the Gnar, the Udyr, the Ashe, and to the Senna. Echo, meanwhile, is trying to run away with his life, but there's a lot of damage that came out. He's going to be the only one that gets out of there alive. He might have to sacrifice himself. Akali, meanwhile, chasing him down while the other members are saying, okay, we'll take Baron. This Echo is a slippery little guy.
But still, good heads-up play to not over-chase on the Echo. Turn, go for the free objective. They can't really contest you. You have pretty decent Baron take with Zen, Misfortune. And you've got some zoning with the Blitz, so...
And that is the Baron falling over to the side of Ivy Gaming Black. They are now up almost 5k. They are up a turret. They are up 3 Drakes. They are up 7 kills. They are in a position to continue to snowball this game. What do you think that Underground Kings have to do in order to put themselves in a position where they can win the game? What is their game plan to help stop the bleeding and slow down the pace or play under their own conditions?
At this point, I really think that you have to draw out the team fight and make it a little bit longer. Really, the blue team here is just trying to get a lot of bursts. They're trying to get a hook with Blitz. They're trying to Misfortune ult over the top, throw a Syndra bomb at somebody. But if you can play that team fight out slow and give your Ashe and your Senna time to fight, give your Gnar time to make a pick, I think that's what you have to do at this point. But at this point, you're just trying to slow them down off the Baron, get your farm, get your gold, and just survive the game at this point.
Very fair point to call out. So we will have, let's see. We've got the blue team going deep into enemy red territory here, trying to push in on this bot side turret. Echo finds himself exposed. He could be getting collapsed on here in a little bit if he doesn't wise up to the fact that Syndra is very aware that he's there, but he might be coming in for a pinch. And all this while Dragon's going to be popping up on the map here in about 1 minute. There's the Echo, there's the Udyr. They're coming in on the Xin Zhao. And Udyr is going to fall to the Xin Zhao.
Nice flank by the Echo there. That was really good shutdown. Let's see what else they can do with it here.
Echo is able to get the kill onto the Syndra. However, Gnar will fall to the Akali. You've got the Akali taking a lot of damage and some turret shots, trying to lock up the kill on that Ashe. The Sonya's goes out. She'll barely survive. Will she? No, she will fall over to the Udyr. Xin Zhao takes a couple turret shots. He's following back up in on the Udyr. The stun comes through, the knockup's out. There's a lot of damage, and he will fall with the swipe of the Gore Drinker. And Misfortune locks down the Echo, and that's a 4-for-2 trade out. You've got 3 members of the Ivy Gaming Black knocking on the door of the side of the turret, on the bot side in him.
It's another game where we've seen the Akali have a little bit of a slower start, but as soon as she hits that 1-2 items, you can see what she can do in a team fight. You can see how threatening she really is once she just gets a little bit under her. She really can start to run away with these fights. She put in a lot of damage there. It was so close with the Ashe on the end to make it a little less exciting for her, but still well played. They claim the soul. And now you're just checking off those final boxes as you try to close out the game. Big damage onto Ashe. Wow, Syndra is just going to combo her out for the easy 1v1 kill.
And we find that the side of Ivy Gaming Black, they're up 10 kills. They're up 7,000 gold. They're up 2 turrets. They've got the bot side in him. They've got all the Drakes in the game. They just got rid of Baron. There's not really a win condition I see here outside of just a bad team fight on their end or not utilizing their team comp well. But so far, the Misfortune ults have been on point. Even though the Blitzcrank hasn't landed a whole lot of his Qs, he still landed the ones that matter. Syndra's been able to get some solo kills out there. Akali's finally coming in line, and the Xin Zhao is doing his work that he needs to, getting some knockups and applying his damage. So we've got quite the fight going on here. There's the Echo putting out a lot of damage onto the Misfortune. The Ignite goes down, and he is going to ult back. And there is the... There is the Blitzcrank to lock down the kill using his R. Xin Zhao, meanwhile, getting the kill on Sin, and there's a little bit of a fight breaking out at mid-turret. Xin Zhao dashes in. He's taking a couple turret shots. Is he worried? I don't know. He flashes out, takes one more turret shot just for good measure, but Misfortune is able to lock down the turret on the top side. Misfortune knocking on the base now, trying to take down the turret from the base side, and you've got the rest of the members knocking on that tier 2 turret for mid. It will fall.
Yeah, it seems like blue team is just pushing and pulling them all across the map, just imposing their will on the map wherever they want to go. They are far ahead. 9,000 gold at this point.
And
huge lead, 2 inhibs. The base is just being flooded at this point.
Baron is up in 1 minute 18 seconds. I wonder if they're going to rotate mid or if they're just going to back off, reset, and try and go for Baron.
Looks like they'll at least back off for now. Somebody is pinging, though, the mid lane. It looks like Akali wants to maybe try to get a little bit more while they can. They don't have man advantage anymore, but it looks like they'll at least be able to get the turret. Maybe
Syndra
another
backs.
inhib if they all can push together. You've got TP coming in from the Syndra here. They are going to get triple inhibs at 26.5 minutes in the game.
They might be going for the end
so
here.
hard
The
to leave
hook
your
lands
base.
onto the Udyr, and he blows up by the Misfortune. You've got the Syndra ult coming out. The Misfortune ult matching it. Echo uses his ult. We've got ours hitting blown left and right. The Xin Zhao chasing down onto the Gnar. He is not able to land it, and he will have to back off. A lot of damage coming on to Xin Zhao. They're still wanting to push here. They've got man advantage.
Oh, and they're going to try to push for some more.
One of the Nexus. Oh, there's the hook landing onto the Ashe, and she gets blown up. The Gnar is going to get killed here. There he goes. They've got one turret standing in their way between the game victory and the series.
And Blitz
There's
lands another
Blitzcrank
hook
landing
just
another
for
hook
good
on the
measure.
Senna, and she might get blown up. There it is, the Syndra who blows her up. That's an ace. Udyr barely alive. They might try and pad the stats here. The stun comes through, a lot of damage, taking some shots from the fountain, but that is going to be the game in favor of Ivy Gaming Black. They will win the series 2-1 and close it out for the night.
Oh, what a group of games. Well, thank you again for having me. It was a real pleasure, Charles. I appreciate the invite. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have not done it yet, please hit the follow button. I appreciate the support. And if you did miss the game or want to see any part of the game again, it will be posted on the Twitch and the YouTube links. So go ahead and follow me there as well. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Happy 4th of July, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Have a great evening.